Hey guys, before the video does start, I do want to let you all in on something that's going to be going down this Saturday, on November the 2nd from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. EST. We're going to be doing a charity stream for a children's hospital up in North Carolina that is right next to the Epic Games headquarters. We're going to be trying to raise as much money as possible, and from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be selecting some giveaway winners from anybody that does participate in helping us raise money. Epic Games has given me 2 swag bags to give away, which is going to have a Fortnite hat and a Fortnite shirt in it, and anybody that donates $5 or above for charity will be entered into this giveaway, and I'll be giving away 2 of them on stream. I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know this will be going down on twitch.tv/demonjoefrance on November the 2nd, and if you guys do want to help raise money for children, please come on out. But without further ado, enjoy the video. Alrighty boys, welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing? Guys, today we're going to be talking about something that I never really thought I would ever be discussing on the channel again, unless it's in a negative light, which is the Ghost Pistol. Today we're going to be talking about the Ghost Pistol because the Ghost Pistol just recently got buffed. This was talked about in the patch notes, and it was also talked about in the roadmap, and I think, well, this video is pretty important because this video is going to serve as a PSA to basically tell you, hey, the Ghost Pistol is actually a really good weapon right now. You should definitely go and try it, and that's actually 100% true. I want to go ahead and show you guys the smasher test really quick to kind of show you exactly how much damage this thing can put out ever since this buff.
Target neutralized.
And yeah, that's pretty freaking good. For a weapon that was previously touted as only good against multi-target, this weapon can now serve as a smasher killer, blaster killer, taker killer, everything. You know, this weapon is absolutely fantastic. People who used to like the Ghost Pistol before it got buffed, the main reason that they liked it was because you were able to hit multiple enemies at the same time by, you know, piercing through in the environment or piercing through buildings and yada yada. Well, now you're able to still do that, yet also be able to take down a smasher in 4 shots in a full squad whenever it's power level 124. I'll also put up, you know, 2 other smasher tests. I got one of an elemental smasher, which takes, you know, a few more bullets. Keep in mind it is solo, and then I got one of a just normal physical smasher, which is in a solo game as well. But I think that the Ghost Pistol is a pretty freaking good weapon, and if you take a look at the damage values, it is pretty great. So we're gonna go a little bit more in depth with it. For those of you guys that are curious, I'm gonna go and show you guys the rolls that I'm using on this weapon, and I'm using a crit rating, reload speed, and crit damage. Damage to slowness narrate as well. Now this weapon is very unique in the sense that if you want to use totally rocking out, you can do a double crit damage build instead of having the crit rating. I personally don't like this because this is going to force you to use totally rocking out 100% of the time, and if you don't use totally rocking out, then the weapon is completely useless. So I try not to build my weapons around that exclusively. So this one, in all the gameplay that you're seeing, does have a crit rating, and it does not have the double crit damage. Now, one of my friends named Deathgrip did actually do some testing with a double crit damage Ghost Pistol, and he hit upwards of 1.3 million in one shot. Yes, 1.3 million in one shot with a double crit damage, Beetlejuice with a full squad. Being able to do that kind of damage actually sounds pretty insane, but it is possible with the Ghost Pistol now, as this buff is pretty ridiculous. I don't want to make assumptions, but if I had to guess, I would guess that the impact was upped in the damage and headshot damage, and I've also heard people say that the projectile speed has been buffed as well, like as it goes faster. I don't exactly remember it going, you know, any slower than it does right now, but what I do know is that I definitely feel as though this thing's doing a lot more damage than previously before, but I don't know specifics because Epic Games didn't tell us. They just said, hey, it's buffed. The loadout that I am using with this build is, of course, my Breakbeat Wildcat build. You guys know that I really like Breakbeat Wildcat. She is the kind of end-all be-all, can work with every single weapon type of character, and I really like her for that. She's very flexible. So I use Breakbeat Wildcat as my commander with totally rocking out, fumble, and subwoofers, and then make it count, hip shot, and 6-shooter. 6-shooter is really good from Calamity because she gives you guaranteed extra impact and damage for the first 6 shots. Her buff actually gives you 20% extra damage and a little bit of impact, unlike Locked and Reloaded, which will only give you 15% after a reload. So Calamity is definitely really good in this loadout. But yeah, my entire loadout's basically built around totally rocking out and pistol crit damage, and it works pretty well with the Ghost Pistol. This weapon, like I said, previously touted as only being good against multi-target, is now able to go hand in hand with smashers. Let's go and talk about all of the positives regarding the Ghost Pistol and then all the negatives. The positives regarding the Ghost Pistol is that, one, you can get this thing right now in the item shop if you want to. Just head on over there and you can buy it for like 1680 gold, I believe it is. Two, the next positive is that this weapon right here will pierce through every single thing in the game. It doesn't matter if it is the actual terrain itself, whether you built something and shot through it, whether it's something that was already there as a building, it will go through literally everything. If there's a hill on the map that you're playing, in the zone that you're playing, you can shoot through it and you can watch the bullet go out the other end, which is fantastic. This also means, going into the next pro of this weapon, that it goes through riot shields. No matter where you shoot them, if you shoot a riot shield at the bottom or through the hole in the top, it's still gonna go through and it's still gonna hit the enemy. This also applies to shielders. Whenever you got those big shielder bubbles, it will indeed go through the bubble and it will hit the enemies on the inside, which is fantastic. One thing that is kind of bad though is that this weapon will ignite propanes, but if you do play your cards right, just make sure not to shoot any propanes and shoot towards the bottom of those enemies and you will be good to go. I feel as though that the only negatives that this weapon does have is that it has projectiles and that it can blow up propanes. Now, most guns will in fact blow up propanes, but the Ghost Pistol is unique in the sense that it does have projectiles. Now, do the projectiles get in the way of the effectiveness of this weapon? In all honesty, as someone that absolutely hates projectile-based weapons, I don't think so. I feel as though the damage that this thing can put out far outweighs the negatives of having a projectile-based weapon. Now, it does get pretty annoying at times whenever you're trying to line up your shot and hit an enemy, but for the most part, really what you're going to be using this weapon is whenever enemies are coming straight at you and you're able to line them up and hit multiple at the same time. That is going to be when you're going to get the most use out of this weapon, but it isn't 100% of the time, and the projectiles can be a little bit frustrating. But due to the fact that this weapon can do so much damage, like you can 4-shot a smasher with the Ghost Pistol. You know, it's insane. You know, I get that I'm using totally rocking out, so I get, you know, crazy amounts of crit chance, but I'm also not even using the double crit damage build in any of the gameplay that you're seeing, and I'm still outputting insane amounts of damage and still being able to compete with a lot of the other pistols that are in this game. The fact that this weapon can do really good single target damage and pierce every single enemy, including riot shielders and including shielders, makes this weapon one of the top tier pistols in my opinion. And this is coming from somebody who, on my entirety of my Twitch career, has been dogging on this weapon while I'm live streaming, because the Ghost Pistol always used to be the joke weapon of the game. It was always the weapon that you made fun of. Now I guess we're going to be making fun of the Nocturno or something. But the Ghost Pistol, seriously, was always that weapon. But nowadays, this thing can go toe-to-toe with smashers. This thing can, you know, go through riot shields and shielders, and the projectiles aren't annoying anymore because you actually get damage from it. And I did want to make this video because I feel as though not a lot of people realize how significant this buff is. If you use the perks that I have in this video, if you use the loadout that I have as well, you will be pleasantly surprised with this weapon, as it can do ridiculous amounts of damage and it can pierce through everything in the game. It's a pretty useful weapon, it's pretty fun to use, and I highly recommend that you do pick it up or grab it from the collection book or what have you if you haven't already. This is a definite perk this weapon up, and I would give this probably an 8 out of 10. The only reason it's an 8 is because of those projectiles and because of blowing up propanes. But guys, that is pretty much it for the video. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you all think in the comments down below about the Ghost Pistol. For me personally, like I said, 8 out of 10. It's up there, man. It's a top tier pistol in my opinion. This thing has got tons of unique kind of traits to it, and the fact that it can pierce just anything in the game, and now it does really good damage. It's a pretty good trade-off for having projectiles in my opinion, and it makes for a fantastic pistol. But yeah guys, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe because I make videos like this almost every single day. Like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.